Well, this kind of thing isn't really my problem anymore, but somebody asked me about it. So I have come out here and take a look at this gravel that they're dumping. This is in a neighboring township. My first thought, I don't know why in the world they gravel this road. They've got a lot of gravel on it. And they got a gravel they could recover, they'd go out a ways. But this particular guy, this gravel outfit, has a real bad reputation with me. And this isn't changing it any. Now, first thing you look, okay, it's all, the majority of it is like, almost like a beach sand. With a few rocks thrown in. But what was puzzling was these big rocks. You're looking at some 4 or 5 inch rocks. Now, that happens in like pit run gravel, but how in the world do they go through a crusher? There's something wrong there. I know the general area it's coming from, because here again is ochre. But, like I say, it's like a coarse beach sand. It isn't, I'm going to take a sample and take it home and screen it, but this is not good gravel. But it's hard to get good gravel. In this particular outfit, when it was my problem yet, I wouldn't buy from them anymore because they're just not a trustworthy organization. But this is horrible gravel. And this road is nothing but washboards, and it's been rained on. Usually new gravel can get washboardy until it gets rained on. This has been rained on. And she's still just rough. But I'm going to pull a sample, find a place where it hasn't been driven on at all, and then take it home and screen it. But unless they're selling him pit run gravel, I can see no reason why there to be that big rock in there. And I'm sure, well, this outfit, there's classifications. They vary state by state, but this outfit is really, really shaky with their classifications on gravel. They will sell you the crappiest gravel they can get by with, which is evidently what they've done here. But like I said, it's not my responsibility, but it got me curious when somebody talked about this. But in all honesty, I wouldn't re-gravel this road. Like I said, there's plenty of gravel here. They're actually going to aggravate their problem by putting this gravel on. The road is going to be, they're going to be fighting washboards all year. And then big rocks, first time you plow snow, they're gone. If the traffic doesn't knock them off the road, because they skip off the road and then they end up in the ditch and you hit them with a mower. They're no good unless you're going on really soft ground, trying to firm up a washed out spot or something, but they're no good on a road like this. They're just a nuisance. But she is a haven of washboards. Now, I don't know why they don't work that in. But this stuff is never going to settle down. You really shouldn't see anything over about 3/4 inch. Once in a while an inch. But when you talk, 4 or 5 inches, oh, you got a problem. Okay, after screening it out, leaving out those big rocks, over 1/2 inch, there isn't much. But about half of them are fractured, which you really want to see. The more of that, the better. But there's a lot of them that are just the round rock. But there's some fractured in there, so some of this went through a crusher. But then, There's this stuff which, it's anything over a quarter. And this is really what does the brunt of the work on a road, though people don't realize it. Now, very little of this shows any sign of fracturing. Like here's one, but most of them are just round, which means it wasn't bigger rock crushed down. This is the way it was dug. And there isn't a heck of a lot of it. So that's, what there's a lot of is this fine stuff. But like I say, it's more like a coarse beach sand. It isn't really road material. This stuff never settles down. It's just going to keep making washboards. You need a mix, and the proportions are way off. There's too much of this in the mix. Like a fourth of this, at most a half, would be acceptable. But this much is just filler. It's like oatmeal in your meatloaf. Isn't really good road material, though on a sand road it'll bind the sand down a little bit. Okay, where it really fell down on is on the real fines. Well, this is a bad deal. But this stuff, the fines should be clay. These are sand. This is the stuff that actually binds, in particular this type of rock, binds it down and holds it on the road. This isn't going to do any binding. It's just going to keep shifting around. So there again, washboards. There's so little clay in it, you can't get it to dust. And normally when this stuff is dry like that, that's like a freshly graveled road, you get a lot of dust until it settles down. It's some clay fines. There is no clay in that. It's just finer grade of sand. This is some clay, still wet, that I dug out of a hole I'm digging over here. This stuff will bind the road down. Normally if you're trying to make a decent road, you got to have a certain percentage of this in there. That stuff don't do any good. Yeah, that's useless gravel, really. Might work on like somebody's driveway where you've got low speed traffic and not heavy traffic. But on a public road, this stuff is just going to be a misery. Yeah, well, like I say, it's not my problem anymore. But it's funny what people will try to get by with if somebody isn't watching them every minute. Well, I shouldn't say, not everybody is that way, because there's one particular provider that I like, who has amazingly consistent gravel. This isn't it. Yeah, if you take, well, even this, there's really, like I say, I don't like to go over an inch. Well, there's nothing really even approaching an inch here. It's just barely 3/4. And there ain't enough of this stuff to matter. And there's way too much of this stuff. That's not going to do any good. But in this particular township, nobody really watches. They kind of accept what they get. So, like I say, it's not my problem. I hate to see that. But if you were to try to explain this to them, they deny it. They'd say, no, that isn't our gravel. Or that it's a bad sample. I can tell you, the hard thing of sampling with, they are so inconsistent in their gravel that to try to find a good sample can be difficult. In part because they don't have a designated loader operator the drivers have to load their own trucks. Well, it's a skill. A loader operator knows how to work a pile, the drivers do not. So sometimes you can end up with nothing but fine stuff, sometimes you can end up with nothing with rock, but that's probably where that big rock came from. That huge stuff, somebody, well, I don't know how that could even get through the crusher. I mean, that's a mystery. I think they were like cleaning up around a crusher or something, but that's a waste of money. Well, this is a waste of money, but it's not my money. It is not my problem.